This is just a little tutorial, real quick on jigs. I know Muddy Man's trying to give it a go this year. A couple other guys are, so I just get some real basics. What I'm using today, Nichols mango jig, or mango Nichols jig, whatever. You'll notice it's got a little cone-shaped head, real good for the weeds here. Can't use too heavy of a jig here. This is about the heaviest at a 1/4 ounce, and it's only this time of year. As soon as it thickens up, we have to switch to 8 ounce, which is why you usually never see me using a bait caster. And yes, everybody, a bait caster, pretty much just for this, just to help Muddy out a bit. 4 basic things you're going to do with a jig, or the 4 different ways you're going to work it. There are 4 basic different things you can do, so to say, and then you can do combinations of, and so on and so forth. First thing you do, get it out there. Usually like to give it a little bit of line so it falls free, and you watch that loop in your line, because a lot of times you'll see a little jump. That's a fish. The slightest little tick can be a fish with these things. Sometimes they hit it like a truck, sometimes you don't even know he's there. Usually you feel him, and much like a Senko, 99% of your hits are going to be on the fall. Well, 90%. Okay, let's see. One thing you can do with the jig, you can hop it, you can drag it, you can pop it, and you can swim it. The swimming part I'm going to show you later in the back cove. It's about 2 feet deep back there, and swimming a jig back there can be deadly. Fish aren't cooperate with me today, but bear with me. So, to pop it, you let it get right down in the weeds, and you let it sit there, and you just let it sit, and you take up your slack, reel your tip down, and pop it. A lot of times, as soon as it starts going down again, bang, it's when you'll get that next hit. It's almost like duplicating what happened on the fall. Pop that a couple times in a good thick weed. Watch for that line to jump, and that's popping it. Another thing you can do, pick up your drag and just slowly drag it. Slowly lifting your tip, watching your line, feeling for any ticks. This is a real good way to feel what's on the bottom. When you use the same jigs for a while, you get to learn what they're feeling down there, the difference between wood, rock, weed. You'll really feel a difference. So you just kind of raising your tip and dragging it along, just like a crave, walking along the bottom nice and slow. Reel down on your slack, let it sit for a second. Reel it, pull it up a little bit. That's dragging it. Now probably the most common thing you can do is hopping it. Let it get to the bottom. Close your bail. Pick up your drag, and just like working a rubber worm, just kind of hop, hop, hop. You just want to keep it moving down there. I also include in this category just jiggling it, just keeping it right in place. Easy to do when there's low wind like a day like today. And just jiggle it. Just jiggle your tip, just jiggle it. Try and keep it in the same place, in the same strike zone. You'll do a lot of this on beds when you're sight fishing and stuff. Just want to keep it in the same spot and jiggle it, not really move it. And then we get back to hopping it, where you're actually reeling it in as you're jiggling it, so you kind of keep it moving along the bottom. Those are the 3 basics. Now we'll go in the back and we'll show you how to swim a jig. Although I bet you got that one figured out on your own by now. But one more cast, just to see if we can't hit one on camera for you. A lot of times also you'll do variations of, sometimes you'll pop it at first, let it sit there, dead stick it, just let it be there. Pop it out and start swimming it, or pop it out and start hopping it, or start hopping it and stop it, pop it. You know, all different combinations. You let the fish tell you what they want. Because one thing that's funny about a jig is a lot of times you'll realize what you had just done was you let it sink, you let it sit there for a little longer than normal, you popped it and started swimming it, and you got your hit. Sometimes it's not what you meant to do, it's just that you were talking, you forgot, and you left it there or whatever, and you popped it out of the weeds. Well, try that again. Try duplicating the same things that you just did, and pay attention to what you're doing so you can duplicate them the next time, because a lot of times it's that specific combination that's going to make the difference with these crazy jigs. It's also the thing that gets a lot of people frustrated with it, is you can be working a jig perfectly well and not catch a fish, and a slight variation, and then you can't stay off the fish. Yeah, fishy. throwing up to about 15 feet of water, bringing it back up to about 10, 11. It's worked right up onto a nice flat that the boat's up on, well, on the edge of. Yeah, don't forget to close your bail. I've done that before. Ended up with a thumb full of snots. And a fish at the end of the line that I had no idea I was going to get in. Alright, Muddy, now we're in the back and do some swim jigging. Pretty much just like the name suggests, you're just trying to keep that thing just above the bottom. Just keep it swimming along nice and when they hit, when they're hitting on the swim jig, you can't stop them, man. It's like a freight train. They just smash it. We're in about 2 feet of water here, 1.5 feet, so we just want to keep your tip up. Just keep that thing moving. You know, when you think it's getting right near the bottom, just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. It's like crawling it. This is nice because I can actually see it back here. But you can feel your way. Eventually you'll feel yourself, when you're swimming it, you'll feel yourself nicking the tops of weed and stuff, and that's when you know to just pick up the pace a little bit. Keep it just above that. Just always keep that thing moving. It's like slow rolling a spinnerbait. And like I said, when they hit it, swimming it, they just smash it.